a shadow creeping across a vibrant nation where foreign funds and hidden agendas weave a web of extremism under the guise of faith. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's the unsettling reality unfolding in India, as revealed by Kerala journalist MP Basheer, who uncovered evidence of Jamaat-e-Islami Hind receiving funds from Saudi Arabia's King Abdulaziz University to Islamise India, including campaigns to impose Islamic dress codes on Indian Muslim women. This foreign funding signals a concerted effort to spread Wahhabi-inspired conservatism, threatening India's pluralistic fabric. Today, we confront this chilling truth, exposing how Jamaat-e-Islami, fueled by global Islamist networks, is reshaping India's social, political, and cultural landscape, demanding our urgent attention to safeguard our nation's unity and secular values. The evidence of Jamaat-e-Islami Hind's Saudi connection is alarming, pointing to a deliberate attempt to entrench Wahhabi conservatism in India. This aligns with broader patterns uncovered in a 2018 undercover investigation by India Today, which found unsettling evidence of petrodollar funding from Gulf countries funneled through Hawala networks, sponsoring Wahhabi indoctrination in Kerala's madrasas. Wahhabism, the puritanical Islamist creed exported by Saudi Arabia, is the ideological seed for jihadist groups like ISIS. India Today's reporters discovered that several religious seminaries in Kerala had received clandestine Gulf money and were teaching young students an extremist, ISIS-aligned ideology aiming for a global caliphate. One madrasa had admitted they regularly show videos of Zakir Naik to children as part of this radical curriculum. In covertly recorded conversations, clerics spoke of large sums, tens of lakhs of rupees, delivered from Middle Eastern sources via hundi transactions to support these centers. These funding pipelines, originating in petrodollar-rich Gulf countries, facilitate the spread of an ultra-conservative, militant interpretation of Islam in India, turning places of learning into breeding grounds for extremism. These are not isolated incidents, but part of what observers call a global Islamist project targeting India. The Usanas Foundation, a geopolitical think tank, notes that Erdogan's Turkey works alongside transnational Islamist networks like the Muslim Brotherhood, Hizb ut-Tahrir, and Jamaat-e-Islami to expand influence. Turkey and Qatar have also been accused of bankrolling Islamist outfits previously funded by Saudi Arabia, which in recent years has cut support to some groups. In South Asia, Jamaat-e-Islami chapters in different countries often enjoy patronage from Turkey or wealthy Arab donors. Analysts highlight Erdogan's ideological and financial backing of Jamaat-e-Islami's affiliates in Bangladesh and Pakistan as part of his bid for a new caliphate leadership. India is very much on this radar. Scholarships to Kashmiri students, diaspora outreach, and direct funding of India-focused Islamist NGOs all attest to a growing foreign hand in India's Islamist ecosystem. Multiple credible reports confirm that Jamaat-e-Islami and similar radical outfits in India receive significant support from foreign Islamic regimes, notably Turkey's government and institutions in Saudi Arabia and Qatar. This external funding turbocharges their activities, whether propagating fundamentalist ideologies like Wahhabism and Salafism or mobilizing protests and political campaigns on sectarian lines, aligning their agenda with hostile foreign strategic interests and making it a matter of national security concern. A direct consequence of this foreign funding is the spread of Wahhabi Salafi extremism on Indian soil, with Jamaat-e-Islami deeply implicated. While Jamaat's ideology, rooted in Maududi's Islamism, is distinct from Arab Salafism in practice, they share goals and cooperate to Islamise society. Saudi-sponsored Wahhabism, a hardline revivalist doctrine, has made significant inroads in India's Muslim communities, often displacing traditional pluralistic practices. Kerala has been a focal point, with Jamaat-e-Islami Hind and allied groups using the state as a laboratory for Islamist social engineering. Indian security agencies warn that radical madrasas and networks influenced by Wahhabi thought serve as sleeper cells, incubating future extremists under the radar. The India Today investigation exposed how some Kerala madrasa operators indoctrinate youth with ISIS-like ideology, dreaming of global jihad. These are children being groomed with the worldview of terrorist organizations, potentially leading to lone wolf attacks or joining international terror outfits. Kerala has tragically seen dozens of educated youth disappear to join ISIS and other terror groups, a phenomenon linked to radical preachers and institutes. The India Today report documented funds flowing through underground channels to promote ultra-radical Islamic thought, indicating a coordinated campaign to seed Wahhabi Salafi cells across India. Jamaat-e-Islami plays a significant role in this radicalization matrix through its various fronts. Its student wing, the Students' Islamic Organization, SIO, and youth wing, like the Solidarity Youth Movement in Kerala, actively propagate conservative religious values among young Muslims, often with anti-Western, anti-secular rhetoric. The Solidarity Youth Movement has been called out for pushing Salafi jihadi literature among college students and mobilizing support for Islamist causes. Former Kerala police officials and academics like Hamid Chenamangalur argue that Jamaat uses ostensibly secular platforms to advance a radical Islamic agenda, a kind of stealth jihad. They point to Jamaat's publications and seminars discussing Muslim feminism or minority rights as a cover to further Islamist domination, outmaneuvering moderate Muslim voices and secular institutions. Jamaat's ideology has also inspired militant groups in the subcontinent. In Indian-administered Kashmir, Jamaat was the backbone for Hizbul Mujahideen, the largest indigenous terror outfit fighting Indian forces for decades. Many sleeper cells busted across North India have ideological links to SIMI or PFI, organizations that originated from or worked closely with Jamaat's ideology. SIMI, founded by Jamaat members, radicalized and was banned. PFI's founders were linked to a SIMI breakaway. The continuum from Jamaat's fundamentalism to violent jihad is a gray area, but security experts believe the former creates fertile ground for the latter. One analyst noted that while Saudi Salafism doesn't culturally resonate in South Asia as much as Jamaat's ideology, their combination amplifies the threat. A young person might join a Jamaat study circle, then encounter extreme Salafi jihadi teachers like Zakir Naik, eventually becoming willing to engage in violence, a pipeline authorities fear as invisible militancy. Beyond terrorism, Jamaat's spread of Wahhabi Salafi influence poses social dangers: communal polarization, intolerance, and parallel enclaves opposed to integration. Allegations of love jihad and morality policing in Kerala's coastal belt, like campaigns to enforce hijab and segregate sexes in colleges, are traced to Jamaat-linked groups. Chenamangalur's critique used the term intellectual jihad to describe Jamaat's strategy of using educated youth and liberal-seeming discourse to legitimize hardline Islamism, highlighting its stealth nature. Jamaat serves as both the gateway and the glue for Wahhabi Salafi expansion in India, leveraging foreign funds and grassroots networks to propagate fundamentalist teachings that radicalize individuals and erode India's pluralistic social fabric, threatening both security and coexistence. A key method Jamaat-e-Islami uses to advance its agenda is controlling media outlets to shape public opinion. In India, particularly Kerala, Jamaat-e-Islami Hind runs a media empire, notably Madhyamam, a widely circulated Malayalam language daily newspaper with an English digital edition established in the late 1980s by Jamaat-e-Islami Kerala and still ideologically aligned. There's also Madhyamam Weekly and the older Prabodhanam Weekly, an explicitly Jamaat-e-Islami ideological magazine in Malayalam. These outlets, while engaging in regular journalism, consistently promote narratives favorable to an Islamist worldview, often subtly, by selecting specific issues or framing debates in communal terms. Hamid Chenamangalur's analysis noted that Madhyamam Weekly has become an influential platform setting activist discourse in Kerala. By giving space to Dalit and minority writers and discussing social justice, Jamaat-run media gained credibility among left liberal circles, but Chenamangalur warned this was a strategy to co-opt secular voices for Jamaat's hidden agenda, remaining biased toward its communal outlook, like favoring upper caste Muslims and not criticizing Islamist conservatism. He saw Jamaat using media as a Trojan horse, penetrating Kerala's intellectual space under the guise of journalism to normalize Islamist ideas. Evidence supports claims that Jamaat's publications draw in non-Islamist writers, broadening their influence. The Times of India reported that Prabodhanam and some Sunni-run magazines published articles by secular figures like C.R. Neelakandan, a prominent Kerala environmentalist and left-wing intellectual, and K.S. Hariharan, alongside Islamist voices. Neelakandan's inclusion in an Islamist publication suggests deliberate outreach to engage useful intellectuals, lending credibility and attracting readers beyond the Orthodox Muslim community. Jamaat's media operations extend beyond print, with a strong online presence and backing for various portals. In Kerala, their influence reached news channels like the now-defunct India Vision, reportedly sympathetic due to Jamaat-linked investors, and numerous social media propaganda pages. Content emphasizes Muslim victimhood, criticizes Western imperialism, and promotes Islamic revival, often approaching benign topics like interfaith dialogue or women's rights from an Islamist angle, such as advocating hijab as empowerment. This consistent messaging shapes public opinion, especially among Kerala's Muslim youth. Jamaat's media control also allows it to mask extremist activities, presenting a moderate face. When accused of funding terror or pushing Sharia, its media arms publish rebuttals and highlight charitable works, like when Madhyamam countered Kerala's CM calling Jamaat extremist by showcasing defenses from Indian Union Muslim League leaders. This media strategy, effective in Kerala, blurs lines between genuine social concerns and Jamaat's religious agenda, misleading liberal intelligentsia into furthering a fundamentalist project. One contentious allegation against Jamaat-e-Islami is its engagement in intellectual jihad, quietly recruiting or influencing independent intellectuals, journalists, and leftist activists to further its Islamist objectives. Figures like C.R. Neelakandan and K.M. Shahjahan are cited as left-leaning Kerala intellectuals allegedly on Jamaat's payroll to attack opponents or push propaganda. While direct evidence of payoffs is scarce and those named deny being pawns, there's a documented pattern of collaboration fueling suspicions. Hamid Chenamangalur coined intellectual jihad in 2010, warning that Jamaat-e-Islami in Kerala was infiltrating civil society and radical left circles through fronts like the Solidarity Youth Movement and Madhyamam, turning intellectuals into pawns of its strategy. He lamented that radical scholars publishing in Jamaat's media failed to see its aim of establishing radical Islamic dominance via secular means, advancing a theocratic agenda under the guise of human rights or anti-imperialism. Though criticized as paranoid, this view is echoed by instances like Neelakandan writing for Islamist publications and appearing at Jamaat events. His involvement, even as a guest, sanitizes Jamaat's image and influences liberal voices to align with its goals, such as framing Islam as under threat. K.M. Shahjahan, a former communist aide turned independent commentator, has collaborated with Muslim organizations, aligning with communal groups on campaigns against the government. Right-wing commentators allege Jamaat and PFI bankroll such activists to target rivals, though proof of payment is rare. Recent political tussles in Kerala highlight Jamaat's courting of mainstream figures. In 2021, during a Wayanad by-election, Kerala's CM Pinarayi Vijayan accused Congress of taking support from Jamaat's welfare party, claiming it stood for an Islamic regime. Congress countered that the CPM had previously been friendly with Jamaat, showing Jamaat's influence in making and breaking alliances. Jamaat actively seeks respectability by engaging left liberal intellectuals, with its conferences featuring secular speakers discussing anti-fascism, Palestine, or human rights, worthy causes Jamaat leverages to broaden appeal. By hosting such forums, Jamaat whitewashes its image and guides narratives, while intellectuals may unwittingly contribute to its agenda. This pattern of co-opting leftist intellectuals through media collaborations and campaigns complicates the fight against Islamism, blurring genuine secular dissent with covert Islamist influence, cautioning India's liberal circles against becoming mouthpieces for regressive fundamentalism. What does Jamaat-e-Islami envision for India's future, and why does it worry authorities? Jamaat aims to expand its political footprint through the Welfare Party of India, contesting elections and influencing governance. In Kerala, it supported the left in 2009 and 2011 elections, gaining local body positions, then shifted to Congress-led UDF after 2016 for better opportunities, showing political opportunism to infiltrate the system. By 2024, both left and Congress traded barbs over Jamaat alliances, indicating its clout as a kingmaker. Jamaat will likely seek greater representation in councils, assemblies, and parliament to legitimize Islamist politics and push Sharia-compliant policies. Its long-term plan, per Maududi's doctrine, is gradual Sharia implementation, focusing on personal law, education, and cultural practices, like strengthening Sharia-based laws, Islamic banking, hijab campaigns, and Sharia courts. The Saudi-funded hijab project and SIO's push for gender-segregated campus facilities show this incremental approach, aiming for a theocratic social order with overseas backing from Turkey and others. Jamaat sees itself as part of a global Islamist movement, anticipating deeper coordination with the Muslim Brotherhood, Turkey's AKP, and Pakistan's Islamist parties. Erdogan's Turkey may use Jamaat as a proxy to project influence, syncing activities with international events like Israel-Palestine conflicts, where Jamaat organizes pro-Palestine rallies. This internationalizes domestic issues, with local protests potentially gaining foreign funding and media coverage in anti-India narratives. Jamaat maintains a stealth mode, publicly distancing from violence to avoid bans, unlike PFI, using dual messaging, condemning terrorism while preaching Islamist supremacy internally. Its 2023 dialogue with RSS leaders upset other Muslim groups, showing adaptability, making peace overtures under pressure, but pushing hardline demands when opportune. This chameleon-like behavior makes Jamaat a moving target for security planners, as seen in NIA's 2021 raids in Jammu and Kashmir for terror funding probes. Jamaat's plans center on increasing socio-political clout without inviting a ban, leveraging foreign funds and alliances to embed deeper into India's matrix. Its mission, rarely stated overtly, is an Islamic social order, a serious concern given its strategic operations. The danger lies in subversion, sleeper cells, intellectual subterfuge, and eroding secular values under petro-funded fundamentalism. Understanding Jamaat's methods is the first step to safeguarding India's unity and secular fabric. Will you stand against this hidden threat to preserve India's pluralistic spirit? The time to act is now. Silence risks betraying our shared values.